Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. We are here and live for the Call of Duty World Championship. Of course, this is going to be the week we find out who are going to be champions of the world. My name is Bryce. Joining me here for this one on Charlie, of course, Chris Tunn.
Thank you very much, Bryce. Very excited to be here. The final event of the year. It's all built up to this one, and we are going to be kicking things off with a game of... I mean, it's opposite ends of the spectrum. Let's be honest. We are going to be watching RBL against EU United. So first against 32nd seed is as far as you can be apart in terms of seeds in this tournament. So a tough ask for the RBL boys, but it'll be interesting to see how EU United look coming into this event. They will very much be wanting to go to the last stages.
Yeah, this is the thing about this sort of game. Like, obviously, we're going to be watching the current champions. You know, they won the last event. It was a lot of emotion coming out of them for them. They're one of the favourites going into this one. And this is their first step along that path, right?
Yeah.
It may be an easier step than some people would hope for, though.
Yeah.
It is 32nd seed they're going against.
Yeah, it's one of those where, you know, if you're RBL, you get dropped in this pool. It's a very difficult pool, of course. The rest of the guys in this pool, very, very strong teams. We're going to obviously have E6 against Team War going over on Delta, which is just to our left-hand side, and Bravo's just to our right. If you can hear everybody in here when it starts getting loud, don't be surprised. The Clint is literally just there, so don't be surprised. It just completely overtakes my voice. But at the same time, you know, these guys, it's a very tough pool for them to be in. Looking at the team, you know, there's a couple of guys in there who really don't have a lot of experience at all. Two of the players from RBL, I think it was actually Gloria and Gunsey. Their first event of the year was Miami. I mean, look, a couple of these guys haven't played LAN before, so they don't have a lot of experience here. Coming into this environment, going up against EU United, who won playoffs, is a very tall order to ask that they even take a map at this point.
Yeah, it certainly is. And as we kind of go into these groups that you can see on your screen right now, the group we're going to be looking at, first of all, Group A, EU United versus RBL Esports. Now, when we kind of broke down these groups a few weeks ago, RBL was not a team we were kind of looking to make any big upsets. And the reason for that is we believe this group is fairly tightly contested. Elevate versus Celtic is a very big game. I believe that's going on in Alpha at the moment. And of course, the disparity between the two games we're going to be watching, 1 versus 4, EU United versus RBL.
Yeah, it's one of those that, as I said, pool is very, very difficult. They go in against some very, very strong opposition. Look, if you put them maybe in C or D there, then you say, oh, right, okay, maybe you can have a run at third or second there. But realistically, we do expect Elevate and Celtic to be challenging for that second spot. We absolutely believe EU United will be going in as number 1. We do think that. However, it's a tough spot for them to be. And as I said, you go in with the lowest seed, you're going to be put in a hard group.
Yeah. 100%, and we'll see how they can do, though. It's champs. That's where the magic happens.
That's
Nothing ever is final, and I think that's what they're going to win for as well. Now, I was thinking before this, you know, we've spoken about EU United. We do believe that they are going to be the winning team coming into this one, but let's be honest about what advantages maybe RBL have. And I was thinking, you know, lots of VOD on EU United. They get to watch all of the VOD from Miami. You know, EU United may underestimate them.
100%. I think you've got to take some things in this, that the pressure is not on RBL here as well. EU United are absolutely believing that they should be going on to win this game. Everybody else is expecting them to win this game. If you're RBL, you go into this and you sort of say, right, okay, look at our year, look how it's gone. For the most part, not too great apart until we got to Miami when they did finish top 16 to eventually get to that champs qualification, of course. They got there. They now are at the next stage to see what we can do, how further can we go. As said, though, EU United, the pressure's on them. There's no pressure on RBL. Let's go and have our best stab at it, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pressure. Not only that, but things like vetoes. You know,
100%.
RBL are gonna know roughly what EU United want to play and what don't want to play. I don't think EU United will really have any clue what RBL want to play. So the vetoes may end up going in their favour. That's another advantage for them. And there was one more. I can't remember what the last one was. Oh, S&D. I always find things like S&D. It's one of those maps that you can get surprises on. Round by round, how it goes down. Like I said about the VOD before, sometimes the breaks do make a difference. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for RBL to do something here. And that's the most important thing to take into this. There's no pressure on them to do anything. Let's be perfectly honest with you. If we get a 3-0 and we're out of here in 30 minutes, nobody's going to disparage RBL.
No,
it's expected.
100%. No, I think you're very, very right in that case. But S&D is absolutely what they have to be tapping into here. S&D was one of their stronger game modes. They went up against the boys. They lost that one 3-1, but they did, well, the boys now, Celtic FC, of course. They did actually win the S&D against the boys. So, you know, they have S&D caliber. They are there to play against a relatively decent team against Celtic FC. Yes, okay, they take an S&D. Can they do it against the United, though, is another question. Yes, okay, they're both very good S&D teams, but I think if you look at RBL and you say you're leaning on the S&D, yeah, it's great, but United's S&D is pretty good as well. So it's one of those things. United are a very well-rounded team. it is the most difficult game you could probably start with. Let's be honest. You know, you could go in against some of these other teams and sort of say, oh, okay, maybe they underestimate us, but United right now, #1 seed, champions at Miami, a very well-rounded team. You couldn't have asked for a harder game.
No, that's 100% right. But of course, they're not the only team in this tournament. We have many groups, 32 teams in the World Championship. Here's groups E to H. And a few teams we're kind of keeping an eye on this event as well. You know, 100 Thieves will kind of want to rise back to the top, Tunny.
Yeah, I mean, when we previously spoke about it, they were my pick for this tournament. I think they will get back to what they should be at. What we expected to see in Miami is what I think we will see here at Champs. However, there's a tall order. There's a lot going on this weekend. There's a lot of games, and I think I just want to allude to what you were saying before. Champs is one of these times where things can happen. There are upsets. It happens every single year. We just don't know where it's going to happen this year. That's the problem. I think you look at some of these groups and you can talk about maybe teams like Team War, Celtic FC going up against the pro teams in their group, so like E6 and Elevate, and you can sort of say, yeah, okay, if they beat them, is it that much of a surprise though? But not necessarily. But then you look at some of these other groups, you look at H is an interesting one. Splice and Heretics up there, are they definitely going to be #1, #2 coming out of that group? Optic and EG, you expect them to have an easier time of things, but there's still some groups that are up in the air a little bit that we think surprises
Group
could happen.
E is a bit of a mess, I think. Luminosity are the clear favourites to come out after their performance at Miami.
Yeah.
But UIU hasn't looked
They've
very
been up and
positive
down
in recent time. They really haven't.
Yeah, they've been up and down. I think you should still come out of that group. Singularity are a very, very good team, as are Vanity. Vanity's formerly Excalibur, the team that did send Mindfreak down into the losers bracket at Miami. They're two good teams, but realistically, I don't think they have that little bit of magic to beat UIU. I absolutely believe LG finished top of that group. Absolutely no question for me. However, I just don't see Singularity and Vanity beating UIU in that case. I think it'll be very difficult.
I don't know. I just don't think UIU have looked like a powerhouse.
They haven't, but they've started to look better, and I think that realistically, Singularity and Vanity had pretty decent finishes, but nothing really. They didn't pull any trees up for me.
No, they didn't. I think that what I'm getting at here is the fact that there doesn't seem to be that much of a disparity. Like, and bearing in mind it's Champs, that's one of the things where I'll be looking at and going, well, this could be one of our upsets. This could be one of the ones where maybe a team does a little bit better than we expect them to do, and it's not a whole lot better. I think that's the key you got to keep an eye out for. It's not one of those ones where, it's going to be, you bodying Singularity or Vanity. It's very likely could be close games, and it could go the other way. Like I said before, you got to talk about what they've been watching with film. These teams could know the rips, could know the breaks. Couple of lucky rounds in Control, couple of lucky rounds in S&D. Could be a very, very different game. You're not going to be 100% certain until we actually see these teams. You've also got to remember, it's 1 month since the last time we toured this tournament.
Yeah, it's not been too long, has it, realistically, though? There is a short space of time. And you're very right, though, with the VOD. It's very much harder for the pro teams to go and watch some of these ARM teams. But then there's some of them, I mean, look, we were watching Hot Mic, and Slasher was like, I didn't know who's in my pool. Like, who's in Downfall. They are sometimes going to be taking that attitude. Yes, you probably can get away with it, but there are going to be certain teams that will not be able to get away with that leniency. I feel like you have to keep an eye on some of these teams from the open bracket. So it'll be interesting to see if some of them can cause some upsets. We're expecting some, but as I said, we just really don't know where. It could happen anywhere across the board. Yeah,
well, we've got a little bit of delay going on at the moment, just to kick things off. And let's talk about, you said you think 100 Thieves are going back to the top.
Yes, I just think, I don't want to say Miami was a blip. I think they ran into a very, very hot FaZe clan. Sorry, no, against FaZe clan. They had some hot games, irrelevant, let's be honest. And I think that I don't know. I just see their form in the two events that they won. I expect them to be able to hit that again. You can have off tournaments. I think we spoke about if they were to win 3 tournaments in a row in this competitive setting, with the competition at this such a high level, that would have been something else. So the fact that they didn't wasn't necessarily, I don't want to say like a lot of people would have pinned them down a little bit, but realistically, I do think 100T can take this.
All right, well, we'll find out as this weekend goes on. But first, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World Championship. We actually have our game ready to go. It's United versus RBL Esports. My name is Bryce. Joining me here, of course, Chris Hunt.
Thank you very much, Bryce. We've just been, as our game's getting ready, just been perusing around because we got, I said, everybody around. Fuego just beat Gen G first map, by the way. Obviously, we've got Team
What was that movement? I've got to ask that.
That was me being like, whoa, this is me dodging all these crazy predictions going on. But either way, you know, we've seen some crazy starts to the series already. We're going to get an hour game very, very shortly. I think out of all the games currently going on, this is the one I least likely seeing surprises happen, in all honesty. Just to, set you guys up for that one. But realistically, let's look at this game. We know United are one of the strongest teams here. RBL, we don't know a great deal about them apart from, you know, a couple of these guys. Their first event was in Miami.
Yeah.
They grinded through to find themselves here in LA. Now we go into Gridlock Hardpoint, first map against the United. Well, if there's any time to turn up, it's pretty much now, boys.
It's
straight off the rip.
Well, this will be our first look at the United. 1 month ago, they did win the CWL Pro League playoffs, and now they make their move. Can they become world champions this weekend? For some of them, once again. And it's going to be an interesting kind of start for them. Like I said, that's interesting that we've already seen a small upset at least. You know, Genji losing first map to Fuego.
It was Seaside as well. Genji a hell of a Seaside. So that's very, very surprising. It looks like Celtic FC are having a good time of things against Elevate as well. But into this one we go, United against RBL. First game here on Charlie on the first day. CWL Champs 2019.
Well, straight to this first half one, of course, for United. First in there as well, but it's always a bit contested. It's difficult to get around that big armor truck in the middle here. Good enough kills going down, but Human Genius is going to take it to begin with. The RBL try to get some points on the board.
And for Human Jesus, he's going to go up against Arcides in this game. Good enough start from him, though. 2-1, does find a couple of kills in the middle. And, you know, these guys in RBL, they can shoot their weapons. They can gun with some of the best. But it's a lot down to team play. We talk about it so much. You know, many people can shoot on this game. I know it. I've been an elite player. I get fried on a daily basis. Might be something to do with my gun skill. But realistically, a lot of these guys are very, very good as a single player. But it's all about that teamwork. It's all about that experience. Can you hold your head? That's a little passion impact behind us. It's not these situations where, you know, you watch in Columbus, you watch Pro League, where they're either side of the stage. They are facing each other in this old school LAN, and let's see what RBL is. That going to be an advantageous position for him potentially? You know, they've been playing in the open bracket throughout the year, screaming at other teams, but right now they're in a different situation against a very different breed of team of United, who have managed to break on through. It is placed it towards the back, and they seem to have forced RBL out pretty easily.
Yeah, this will be a hard break because it doesn't seem like United have it fully locked down. RBL at this point need to try to start breaking this setup here, but unfortunately just not really able to get the trades into their favour. You see Clayton here waiting for his next dip, actually going to challenge it before it even comes in, doesn't need to, teammate picks it up. That's already locked down, and we go on the rotation. Destiny in Showers taking on Human Jesus. Let's see whether or not they can break this to begin with. Already that trophy is coming into play. Human Jesus just for a few seconds here, Gunsy getting one at the same time. And it will be RBL who have this rotation.
And they are eventually going to clean them out, but what Pristini and his teammate did really well there, didn't quite catch who else was following them up. They just stayed alive for so long in and around Showers, just doesn't allow them, doesn't allow RBL to like spread out and set up a little bit better because of their presence there. Clayster is going to find 2 on the entry, though, and the rest of the team come sliding in. It is going to be Simp and Abizi working their way through with these SMGs. Very, very strong SMG pairing on this United side. A big reason as to why they're big favourites going into this event for a lot of people. Clayster already with 2 streaks to his name as well. It's a really good start for United.
It is. It looks like we want a push from RBL. They're trying to go into it here, but unfortunately, falling like dominoes. Just not got the bodies to really make this a push through. They have committed now as they go round for this next rotation in the house. You can see it's going to be all on United to push out. Now, realistically, RBL should be trying to pin them in here. They know which way they're coming. Abizi has spawned out. He's Main Street, so this will be a pinch. He's probably calling for it now. Abizi said, I've got the first hit. Out coming United. They're looking to push straight through, but RBL, Too Real, has shut that down.
And it's going to be able to make 2 kills there, Brycey, but a big issue here for me, for RBL, is that they've actually rotated early over the last 2 hills. They rotate early for P4 as well. They haven't been able to get much for it. Yes, okay, they get that initial time, but each and every time, as we can see, once again, they are going to be broke by United. 110 and rising for them. Seems too easy on the bricks. It really does. We need RBL to be posting up in maybe some better positions. Winning their gunfights is really crucial in this moment. Right now, they aren't able to do that, though. United lightning the kill up close. There is going to get taken down by Glory, doing his best to find kills in a position that doesn't really benefit you at all, though. And right now, United looking really comfortable in this game for us.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us something. They knew they had to try and get a little bit committed. There is occasion that you can hold this. The problem being is that we know Clayster has streaks. Any second now, a Hellstorm or a Lightning Strike is about to ruin their day. In it comes. That's 2 for Clayster. And RBL all of a sudden left without any time on this middle hill again. Jesus trying to actually have a fight with Clay all the way around by 18-wheeler. Now he's in boxes, looking for him still, playing Jesus. Going at each other, now back to this middle hill, and it is going to be United in control once again.
Yeah, it's been pretty simple for them so far. Calista did eventually find that gunfight back towards Human Jesus, taking him down. And it's just been pretty simple, you know. Calista pushes back through there, through Sushi. You can attack from two different angles. You can get a bit of a pinch set up here. And on top of that, they have the streaks to play with. And this is actually the first time we're seeing RBL starting to light the kill feed up. That's 3, 4, 5 kills coming in there. Clink does find 2. And they are eventually going to break on through.
There's the Hellstorm.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to have to come in here now for United. So, you know, if you're RBL there, yes, you do get pressed off that, but you have to force Calista into using that Hellstorm at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of the hills you want to use it on anyway at this point, so easy kind of pick for them. United have got the next setup as well, though. RBL, it's a hard break for them again. They're all the way back in the showers. As Abizi takes down 2. Point out here at this point, actually, Tan, Arsa Easy is 14-3. At this point in the game.
Yeah, it's quite difficult when an AR is having this much of a presence on this map. We know Gridlock is quite AR heavy in certain places, and Arcides, it is his playground right now, fully stacked up, and does have a specialist available whenever he wants to pop it, as does 2 other members of United. There we go, there is the Attack 5 coming in from Calista. Simp also has his War Machine. They have every single tool right now to end this game. 40 points away here against the RBL Esports in map number 1. It's looking very simple for United. They can be within 10 by the time we move over towards P3.
Certainly good now. Glory trying to do something here. Unfortunately, he's just trying to get people out of his own area before he goes out. I think somebody's up there. They're not. This is the shower push. Last time around, United broke this fairly easily. Tyrell diving, trying to get anywhere, but Abizi is fast to the trigger. And he ends up going down. Glory's going to find 2 here as well. Down he goes to Simp. And United comes swarming in. Place to getting that kill feed to lock it all down red. 9 seconds left to go, and United on the cusp of their first map here for the World Championship.
Well, United are not coming into this pulling any punches whatsoever. They take that map number 1 as convincing as we would have liked to see. Very interesting to see from them that they have come in very, very hot straight in map number 1, or is it just an absolute gulf of class? That's maybe what it could be. If I'm RBL, I look at that one and say, right, okay, we chalk it up, we go in the S&D, we see what we can do there, and then the other game modes. But hardpoint on Gridlock is not something you want to be playing again against a team like United. Things looking very simple for them in map number 1. And I mean, if I just want to maybe talk about some of the things that RBL did wrong, I think, you know, the rotations, everything were pretty great. They did great in the rotation, but you can't win games if you win the rotation and you don't hold it. So that was the problem. They just didn't win the gunfights in the important moments. United won nearly every single one of them, and that's why it was such a convincing victory.
Yeah, I think so. And again, you know, we were talking about it coming into this one. United are supposed to be the better team. They're the
100%.
defending champions. And coming into it, I think when we saw that the rotations were very important, you know, RBL had a few, they had locked down. Like we saw them in showers twice.
Yeah.
Broke very, very easily. They kind of just end up losing those trades time and time again. And it just seems like United not only have a better gun skill, they have better teamwork. They know exactly what they want to do when they go for these breaks. Then the streaks didn't help either. It was a big snowball going on, Ton.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you start letting streaks get away from yourself, you don't get your specialist. A lot of RBL didn't even have a chance to get theirs there, and that was the difference as well. You know, if you start heating up as early, if you are United, you start getting specialists, you start getting score streaks, and it becomes so much more difficult for teams like RBL to come back into it. But we are going to be going frequency S&D very, very shortly. And as said, if I'm looking at RBL, I'm looking at the S&Ds. Can you find something here? Find an S&D. Suddenly you're looking for a respawn to get you to map number 5, to get you to another S&D. It's a tall order, but that is absolutely going to be their thought process. They have to be thinking, win the S&Ds, see what else happens.
Yeah, I think so. And we have said before, right? S&D always tends to be a slip map. Because you do get these players who are very, very good at S&D. Plus, if you start to snowball a little bit, you win a couple of rounds. It's not as common to get streaks on S&D.
Yeah.
And specialists don't usually come in. And if we do see them, it's very late in the rounds usually. But it can happen. And you can see teams upset bigger teams on Search and Destroy, especially just because of how this game mode works.
Yeah, it's one of those. Search and Destroy is very much a community favorite. You know, at the AM scene level, a lot of people just playing S&D channels, etc., etc. They're always playing S&D. So these guys are very much a team who are strong at S&D. It seems to be where they maybe use all of their resources, if you like. They seem very well versed in it. So let's see what they can do. I think, you know, I'm not going into it with too many expectations, I'll be honest. But if we are looking to maybe possibly give a map over towards RBL, you have to look at the S&Ds above everything else.
Well, here's my theory on it, right? Is RBL don't need to win this game. This is not the game that they're realistically looking at. It's the other two games in this group. If they can beat those two teams, they can get out of groups and then start thinking about making their champs run. Nobody's come into this thing and 32nd team is going to win the World Championships.
Yeah.
But for them, every step they can get further in this tournament, obviously it's more prize money, it's more prestige, it puts them, into the spotlight. Getting out of the group is their first priority. Unfortunately, on their first step to doing that stands EU United, who aren't going to give them an inch.
And the other teams in this group are very, very strong as well. So, honestly, we don't really fancy their chances. But we've already seen a couple of upsets on map number 1s and such. We did see Celtic FC take map number 1 against Elevate. We've seen Enigma 6 take map number 1 against Team War over on Delta. On Bravo, Genji lost map number 1 to Fuego. Mad Cat rolling back the airs. We love to see that. Either way, into this one on Charlie. Very much again, we do not expect to see too many surprises in, but let's see. Can RBL turn up here in the search and destroy? We go over towards Frequency. In all honesty, I think about this map and I just think of the Tiny Terrace. Think about Simp, think about Abizi, what these guys are going to be doing. And not just Simp being great with the SMG, very good with this. Okay, never mind. Gunsy finds one straight off the rip, Simp. And I'm not too sure if he'd be bringing that sniper out straight away off the rip. Might not actually matter in the end. He is going to find the first kill, Gunsy. And
Gunsy gets 3, but eventually traded out by Clayster. So close for him. That RK7 is a monster weapon. Gunsy opens it up with 4 kills.
All right, okay, that's an all right round from Gunsy. Unfortunately, they don't win it. There's Simp. See you later, buddy. RK7 out. He starts going. All his teams just start dropping like flies here, and he has no other choice but to destroy everybody with a sidearm. There's the first, there's the second, there's the third. And that would have been quite miraculous had he killed Clayster. I think I've got to give him props for the first 4 anyway.
Unbelievable. I mean, Gunsy's clearly practiced that jump out snipe as well. We didn't even talk about it, but it was
didn't have time.
Yeah, it was so kind of just on. He knew exactly what positioning he needed to be in. And now, maybe a little bit of a morale boost for RBL, knowing that they came very, very close to winning that first round. It does seem like they maybe have a little bit of S&D chops for them. But now bomb goes down. Advantage to EU United. They will play the defensive around this bomb site, and they are set up ready for it.
Yeah, this is the thing for now. RBL, yes, okay, Gunsy is able to come in with a few special kills like that, but now they've got to break B bomb site. He is going to find the first human. Jesus does find one, finds the second out of his teammate. Too real now, stuck in a bit of no man's land. Is going to find Pristini, though. 1v3 now for Arcides to try and pull off. Not the worst position to be in here, but he is going to get pushed. Surely should get traded out. Isn't going to be able to find the first in that situation against the Sorgan. That bomb will be defused, and RBL will get around on the board.
Yeah, he needed just a little bit of breathing room there. If he could have worked it, maybe got a kill or 2, he could have done something. He did have a frag grenade in his back pocket, and that may have allowed him to win that clutch. Unfortunately, RBL did the correct thing. They went for the challenge. They knew they needed to push him back, and that's just how it ends up going in S&D when you've got no numbers.
Very, very difficult to do, but it comes down to Human Jesus. Got a nice little break there with the ICR. And the thing is this site is one of those, if you win one gunfight on one side of it, you can either push through the middle or either side. Then it just makes things so much easier. You win the first gunfight, you can start pinching from different directions. That's what they did well, and eventually just win the gunfight. So, better to see from RBL. Arcides now, what can he get going down B side? And maybe staying away from the sniper shots. As you can see, he's playing quite passively, but we can see United now over towards it. Setting up defensively with RBL not really making a move yet.
RBL playing a little bit slower than they did last time. Went for the aggression, it didn't quite work out. Now it looks like it might end up being a move towards B. They've got their snipers out as well. You see Glory looking for anybody mid-map. Hasn't really happened for him yet, though. And now, here comes the push. Down goes one, though. Arcides is ready. And Glory's going to go for it. Looking for this snipe. Nobody there. We can see on the map, United are pretty much stacking this, ready for a retake. They're expecting this bomb to have gone down. There are so many red arrows coming. Here they come, United. Oh, Glory gets one though. Abizi peeks out and he gets punished for it. And now, if you are a United, to be a little bit careful here. But the problem is for RBL, they just don't have the time. They're going for this rotation around. It's 4 versus 3. Glory needs to back up his teammates. They need to get into this into this bomb site and plant ton.
They are going to be able to get away with it just about, but taking their time a little bit too much here, and it may just make them be be in a bad situation. Callista's going to find human Jesus. Arcides is going to take down his teammate now, so now Gunsey in a 1v3. We would have seen him do it if it was a 1v3 in round number 1, but either way, it is going to get taken down. For me, there in that situation, they just take a little bit too long to make a decision on what they want to do with that bomb. It seemed as if they weren't really sure on which way they wanted to go for the full round, and ultimately it stops you being able to take some map presence. It stops you being able to get a little bit of control in and around the bomb site. They get the bomb down, and E United are there. Very, very difficult to defend against E United's teams. One up now in the S&D.
No, son. It's not been a million miles away for RBL.
No, it hasn't. You know, these rounds of S&D have been relatively close. I think the first one you can sort of say it was a little bit of a... Well, I don't want to say a fluke. He played it very, very well, but it was only close due to Gunsey doing fantastically. But the rest of them have been relatively close here, and S&D is never usually a million miles away from somebody. It's never usually a 5-man wipe every single time. There is chances for RBL here.
Well, we can see they're going for a big A stack. Maybe looking to see whether or not they're going to mix it up around elevator. Nobody here, though. Bringing out some of those alternate tactics. And Glory just to get out of there as he does throw the shoulder.
A bit of a big shoulder there.
Yeah. Still, though, it's deep mid-map, and he does have the bomb as well. I think he's been seen. Is Tyrell going to challenge this?
You've got a cluster, bro.
He's not going for it right now. Almost gets snapped. Place to take down one as well. Gets challenged, and Pristine says, thank you very much. Teammates are backing me up. E United now in the driving seat, 4-3. RBL have been pushed right back into their spawn, but Clayster brings it back to a 3 versus 3. Didn't mean to, obviously he kills his teammate, and there's now light. There is hope for Rebel. Can they make this work, though?
The thing is here, they're giving up all real estate in this map right now to maybe throw all their eggs in one basket over towards B, expecting to wrap around. Nope. And United do indeed get this one down over towards A. Clayster towards the back. He's going to get caught by Guns. That's a Sorg. Takes him down. 3v2 now.
And this is where it gets a little bit tense. Sim's going to pop out here, ends up
they've
going
read it
down.
so well.
And that was just easy for them in the end. They just held their corners, waited their timeout, and United weren't able to hold against them. 2-2 now in this game, Tom.
You can see the foundations of S&D are very much there for RBL. That was a really, really nice retake. Just took their time. I think once they win that first gunfight against Clayster, you can expect where everybody else is based on where he got killed. And they just wait on the push now. They know they're going to push. Look who you're up against, Abizi and Simp. They don't stop sprinting for the majority of the time. So these two guys are going to make the push out. Gunsey very aware of what's going on here. Simp gets caught with a pistol out and will get taken down. And that was a really influential kill for the round. RBL tie this one up to 2 now.
We go back onto the attack with RBL. They've been a little bit aggressive on some of these rounds here, and it's gone both ways for them. It's never been good or bad. It just very much depends how this first engagement goes. You can see there should be a big engagement down middle map. He's going to see one on the drop down, ends up just getting the spray with his teammate. 2 down already. E United firmly in control of this one. Doesn't get it. Eventually gets it back and traded out himself. 4 versus 2. E United's round to lose.
Very much so. They push them back, and once again, it's just RBL not able to get enough control on the map to do anything with it. Clint now in 1 versus 5 and will get taken down. That's probably the most convincing round we've seen so far. The United very dominant in holding this one down. And will take a lead eventually in this search and destroy, but it hasn't been plain sailing for them so far. We have said RBL, their game mode to win is search and destroy. Can they get things going here in map number 2?
Yeah, United may be struggling with the unorthodox playstyle of RBL. They seem to go a little
Very
bit
slow.
and then they bring it right back to their spawn and look for these trades. And United maybe not expecting that sort of chaotic gameplay for this. Maybe more a structured thing experienced in the Pro League or against pro teams. But I suppose that's what's happened when you play a team you've literally never played for at all. You don't have any POD on them.
Yeah, it's the same. Look, you go into a league play match, as RBL eventually do get a couple of kills on the board. Yeah, you go into a league play match, you're going up against people you've never played against all the time. And you know, people play S&D very, very differently right now. Pristini trying his best to get this one back to a level playing field, and eventually does. As Real now up against Arcides. So many players, so many different teams play this game mode so differently. That's why we always say it can be that crux for the so-called higher seeded team. Arcides now, though, can he extend the lead here for United, or can Real tie this one up for RBL?
Going to be timing here, and he's going to see him, but not enough. That Sorg will win it out to Real. Manages to get it in the end. And Arcety's had no idea where he had gone. The player had gone for a long, long flank. Pretty much gave a tour of the map and just wasn't able to do anything with it. And that brings RBL back even with E United.
3-3 now, plenty of S&D still to be played, but yeah, that slow passive style, they seem to be switching in between, don't they? They got very aggressive through the map there. I do believe it was actually Glory who found 2. Gunsy having a good game though, at 7-4. I think a lot to do with the 4 kills. He got ranked number 1 to be fair, but still a nice little stat line for himself. But an RBL push over towards A. Arcety's is going to spot this one out very, very shortly. They will force him away, but staying alive is paramount there. He will get away, but this bomb will go down.
About to income. Not going to get. Oh, Abizi does actually end up getting Glory. Trying to go into a hit. 2 Rails in a good position, but Abizi gets 2. And oh my goodness, RBL only have Gunsy left, and Gunsy goes straight down. Abizi knows him, hits him with a shot punch. And that's a big 4 kills for Abizi as the United go 4-3 up.
Yeah, he just took over in and around Plat. That so can be so dangerous. It's one of those where you don't really want to challenge over towards Elevator, but realistically, in and around Plat, etc., is so difficult to do what he is doing there. In and around, you see the jump up come in, he wins a couple of gunfights, and suddenly he's in a really good position to get a goal of his grab slam.
I like that by United. That was just a little bit of bleeding time. I mean, extend the trophy, but they also want to get the grenades back.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. But, yeah, we see teams do it a lot towards the end of the year. We know these teams should very much know Black Ops fall like the back of their hand. But here we go. Easy. The grenade. Finds a second there with his gun. It's third kill overall. Expected push from behind. Very smart S&D play, and you know, he makes it look easy. In all honesty, 4 kills come through there in the blink of an eye, and will send a United into a lead once again.
So back and forth between these 2 teams, but not out of the realms of what we expected. Let's see if RBL have got the legs to go the distance, though. This is going to be a big clash here. Both teams are about to hit Elevator at the same time. Christini goes in, Glory gets taken down as well, and so many players for it as both teams throw it. Gunsy gets 2, and Abizi was reloading. He's going to go down. It's now a 1 versus 2. It's Arcety's left alone again. And I also feel like I ended up seeing someone get a streak there.
Yeah, it was Abizi off the back of the 4 kills in the previous round. Finds 1 or maybe even an assist in the middle, and he's very, very close. Gets a hold of it eventually. But Arcety's now. Bomb's not in a great spot. ICO is not the ideal weapon to have to try and retake Elevator. He's going to make the push. He will surely just get bait and switched here. And of course, Human Jesus slides on through. It's around for RBL. Back and forth we go here, Bryce.
Difficult for Arcety's. He knew he had to go get that bomb. The ICR, they were just going to shoulder peek him every single time, and the double slide in. You just can't shoot it 2 directions at once, unfortunately. This is a tight game. 4-4. Every time a United think they may have got a handle on RBL come back out, and that was a big fight around Elevator for the win. And they do have streaks now to play with the United. Abizi is going to have that lightning strike. And where, oh where, are RBL going? And it looks like B. They're going straight there already. Big aggressive push from them again. The Gunsy's going to get that snipe out. Hasn't used it in the last few rounds, and maybe they kind of forgot a United that they were expecting it. B's putting his lightning. They're going to have to get out of there. They have the advantage in terms of numbers. That lightning strike not really going to do that much for them.
It does find Gunsy, but it forces the rest of RBL to push forward, but they just win every single gunfight on the way. 4 kills coming in here, a quick succession. E United burn the round, burn the streak. 5-4 now. And we said, RBL, if it's going to be any map, it will be search and destroy. And they've done great here, in all honesty. A couple of really good rounds out of them. 2 Real doing fantastic work there, just dipping and diving. And hitting every single shot with his SOG. 1 round away now, Bryce.
Yeah, and I said, slip map. If that second map, S&D is always a dangerous one, especially against opponents who don't know what they're going to be doing. The United will not have been able to prep for this.
I mean, if you want to talk in the grand scheme of things for the group as well, even if RBL can take a map, even if they don't win the series, it puts them in a better spot than teams who are going to get 3-0'd by them. So, hell, try and get this map. It gives you a good chance in the rest of the tournament.
Going for control here, United. Trying to get this bomb down. They've got a little bit of protection. Glacier has made sure they can't pick him off here. But oh no, they gave the protection up too early, and Pristini's gone down. That bomb hasn't gone down, and E United have now got this advantage. They don't have bomb down, they don't have the numbers, and RBL have swarmed into a position where they can prevent the plant. And Glory gets another one. RBL are about to take a map off E United.
Quick's going to find another, but it's going to come down to these trades. Simp is going to find another himself, though. 2v3, this is very doable now for E United, but the problem is where that bomb is. They can just keep an eye on that RBL. They'll know where they get rid of it. Glory with the snipe down the right-hand side is going to send a shot to the right-hand side. Simp needs to get moving. He needs to do something now. They start engaging. Sog's out here, but the time is ticking down. Bricey, Glory finds one. Simp in a 1v3.
Unbelievable. Simp has got 17 seconds to pull this off.
They can just run away.
They can. They're just not going to let anything. There goes the nade from him as well. He's trying to find his way through. Glory has to win this gunfight. Does go down. And RBL win map number 2 against E United. And already Champs is living up to its magical name. No games are easy, and everyone better be prepared.
Yeah, that's 30-second seed taking the map off our number 1 seed there. S&D is, as said, something that we've looked towards for RBL. Say, okay, we can sort of think about them banking on this, so they win the first S&D. Now it's a question of whether they can win maps 3 or 4. Then they go on to a potential map number 5 if they can push it that far. Or can they win maps 3 and 4? That is the question. But realistically, really good win for them. They will take a lot of positives from that and hopefully some momentum in the rest of the series.
Yeah, they certainly will. Well, we're going to see the rest of this series in just a little while. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Championships. We are about to go into map 3. It's E United versus RBL, and currently it's 1-1. The defending champions had a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah, it's one of those that we know RBL are a good search and destroy team. Realistically, you still expected E United to win that one. However, they are going to go into map 3 that could send RBL into the lead, or does it indeed extend E United into that lead once again? But it's hard to say. It's really quite hard to say. You would expect E United to still close this one out relatively comfortably, but Search and Destroy is something that could potentially be a little bit of a slip for them this weekend. But RBL have found themselves back in this series as we head into map number 3 here, Bryce.
They certainly have. Let's see whether or not they can prove an even bigger upset against E United as we go straight into this one. And it looks like they're going for a heavy push into Church straight away.
Yeah, it's one of those that is straight out of the playbook. It's very much an A hit. Is something that you do see quite often. It's a little bit of a curveball, if you like, but didn't pay off either way. United are going to be able to get the majority of those kills and will slow this push down from RBL. Glory going to find 2 though, and it's back over towards B. Back to the standard push here.
Now, here we go. RBL goes in, but that's an easy shutdown for them. And with the amount of kills that United are making, I wouldn't be surprised to see a player start pushing up the map and try to get a few spawn kills. And that's actually happening now. Place is going to try it. He's a little bit pinched though. He's going to not be able to make that kill. I thought he was going to have it, but they've got a few kills now. A little bit of breathing room. The problem being is E United are trying to strangle them in spawn. Closer going down has given them an opportunity to push through barrels and maybe go for that A hit again.
And one of the things that RBL did right there is they concentrate everybody going in one direction straight off the spawn. It's not a case of just everyone spreading out and trying to get map control, because you will just get spawn killed. They all force their way out towards A, and they have themselves in a really good spot here as 5 men do go down now. This is really nice from RBL. In a good spot to try and hold this one down. A BZ though, managing to get round in behind, is going to find 2, and it looks like E United are just about going to be able to hold onto this hill, and Arcides and Simp are going to make sure of that. They do actually have a kill deficit here, E United, but RBL, the time is against them.
Please, it's such a big job. That 2-piece basically stopped RBL in their tracks. And it's given a little bit of advantage, but E United are not sitting down on these trades. They're trying to get everything to work. Pristini gets it back, and all of a sudden RBL, having the kill lead, has just been completely shut down. They're now sprinting and running as fast as they can, trying to get into A. The time's about to run out. They can't get a toe hold in, and that will be E United taking round number 1 here in the controls. And I'm going to put that on the BZ. That 2-piece completely wrecked RBL's day. They had E United in the spawn. They were getting more and more kills off of them. A second tick on A may have made it much more viable, but after that, there's nothing they can do, and E United flexed their slaying muscles and said, nope, we've had about enough of this.
It was a great play from BZ, but on top of that as well with E United, they started winning the gunfights in mid-map early on. Yes, okay, a couple of trades here and there don't go their way, but the big team wipes are allowing them to push forward and find further kills. And in the end, yes, the kills are relatively close, but because they can push forward, because they have so much map presence further up the field, it makes things so much more difficult for RBL to gain anything there, and that's why the time ticked down so quickly. They weren't able to stay inside of the control points at all. United with a relatively simple round here. Simp at 8-4, make that 9-4 as he finds kill straight off the rip here. United going straight through the middle of the map here, looking towards it.
Well, this is where it gets a little bit more dangerous, probably. You don't want to go 2-0 down, and you know how much United have been kind of bringing that slaying power for them, who's controlling the hard point as well. The respawn really does suit them. RC's using that RK7, he's going to go down as well. This has been a great hold so far for RBL. They just don't really have the bodies in around B yet, but fortunately because they have been dominating the trades, they are now going to flood it.
So he does find two towards the back end of B though, and that will allow them to push on forward. Abizzi is going to find another himself, and this should be total B control now for United. Looks like RBL are quite content to give this one up. Seems as if they're not going to be making the push there. Number 7, Prestini. Lingering in and on the stairs is going to get caught out though. Israel will find him up B. Inevitably does go over towards the United. A few kills go their way, and if you're RBL, you back off. You don't want to give away that kill lead, but right now United trying to claw that one back.
And they're being very slow about it, Ton. You can see they're stacked up, waiting for their teammates to come in. They know the only realistic way to get into A is a full wipe. You have to shut them down, because the reinforcements are going to come in faster and furiouser from RBL. You can see right now, you know, United trying desperately to get that kill feed to go their way. They're trying to get these trades correct. Just about doing so. Great positioning there from RC, but he gets traded out at the same time. Not a lot of progress being made for United. Like I said before, RBL have the spawn advantage on this. Yep. It's going to be easier for them just to trade it out and get reinforcements there faster. So unless United can get a big wipe or get some players in key positions where they can shut it down, it's just not going to happen for them.
Yeah, trade favor absolutely in RBL's favor. You know, as you said, if you are trading kills away, you boys are there a lot quicker than United, who have to run the length of the map to get over towards A. That's why it's such a difficult point to capture. The kills do momentarily go over towards RBL. 14-12 is the difference here. Sim very much doing his job at 13-8. The rest of them, you know, they're relatively there with them as well. On the other side of things, nobody really setting the world on fire for RBL, but yet they still find themselves in the lead kill-wise. 4 kill streak here for Glory as well. We'll keep an eye on that as well, and maybe he can get something going score streak-wise if RBL can win this round.
Well, they're being very slow here at United, and there's a reason for that. They know that trades are the name of the game at this position, and Beanie somehow staying alive at the spawn, but just doesn't have the health. Trying to get out of it at the same time, already going all the way around. No's contested, going to see Glory. Big challenge about it coming in. Can Abizzi get it? Shot punch for him as well. Tiny Terror doing fantastic as Sim comes in at the same time. But it's going to be traded well. Abizzi looks like he's on fire. Moving so quickly for it. Problem being, he's alone, Ton. The rest of his team are no longer alive as Abizzi continues to do it. He has a grab slam. Can he get the position for it? Down he goes. I don't even think he can respawn. And Gunsy shuts it down.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It was just off the minimap there. Gunsy was sitting up top yellow or top secret. And he's just staying alive as long as he can. But United know that he's there, but that is fine because they know they need to find him. In the end, he finds 2 anyway. So he really did slow down the reinforcements coming in here from United. It's still maybe somewhat doable, maybe not now as 2Real finds Sim. Gonna find a second as well. Getting heated up if you're RBL. Glory takes down Claystyle. That's 1 apiece here in the control.
Wow, big hold from RBL. Like I said before, you know, at United, they tried to make a little bit of a play at A in the early stages of that round, and they knew that if they couldn't get the big kills going forward, that taking it second is always difficult, and that's just what happens. However, now the game changes, and that's what you've got to keep an eye on here if you are watching Charlie at the World Championships. This is where specialists now come into play. The things that we saw before, the trades around A, don't count as much because you can start locking them down with your specialists. They will make a big difference from here on out.
Specialist efficiency is a hallmark of a very good team. United will have that in abundance. Do RBL have the same level as the question? Can they use them as well? Looking at the specialist race, though, it is well and truly United's right now. They do have everybody a little bit closer. We do indeed have specialists already available, but here we go. It's a big push through the mid-map from RBL. Abizzi does find 2. That should get traded by Sim. Can he find a second as well? Not quite. Gunsy is going to shut him down. Good enough start here for RBL. They're keeping the United away. Human Jesus trying his best in the mid-map to stay alive. It's a really good push from them straight out of the blocks. They aren't going to get inside the B. The kill's going in their favor as well. They got a good shot going towards A, but the United are going to shut this one down. But a good start for RBL. Gunsy has a streak. Fantastic work from him and 8 kills in a row.
This is everything for RBL. Now, can they make this next big push? United on the back foot, and again, this comes down to the same scenario. Can RBL get a big wipe going forward? Start to get some ticks into the ladder. Still tons of lives left into this game, so a tick at a time, probably the way to play it. And here comes the big push. They're going credit for it as well. Prestini shuts down one. Glory and Abizi both getting those trades out at the same time. And Gunsy gets one more. This is good now for RBL. They're going to get some of the United teams down. United now going back. The problem is they still don't have enough bodies into this point to start getting ticks on board.
We say Champs is a place where upsets do happen. RBL now in a really good spot to put themselves in a great spot in this control. Abizi does find 2 with that grab slam. Are they going to find anything for it though? Not quite. They'd find a couple of kills, but that's it. Clayster and Co. can't quite be able to lock this one down. Eventually you do with Clayster on the back of 2 or 3 kills of his own.
See, the thing about that grab slam is the fact that it kind of pays double in that scenario.
Just push them back.
Yeah, basically because you hit them, you end up pushing the spawn way out, and it just takes a lot of time to get back into it. So even with an inefficient trade like that, it just ends up kind of paying out dividends further along in the game, and that allowed a United to take back control.
Place has just held 2 kills down towards the back here. Not going to be able to quite find the third, and the trades are going to come in here. RBL sending everybody down the right-hand side of courtyard there. Not quite sure why, to be honest with you. That seems like not necessarily a misplay, but it's just one of those things, a bad decision. Kills now coming in here for United, though. Tac 5 has been popped. Looking good for them in this round eventually, although the kill difference is nothing right now. But it is up to RBL. They do need to make a push over towards A here. United with a lot of mid-map control. It's going to be very, very difficult, Bryce.
The United are trying to keep this just as far away as possible, knowing that they have the spawn advantage. But here we go. 3 of RBL about to run up on a United. They've got to make a big entrance here. They don't have the time, so somebody has to contest regardless. They do have to go in. They cannot play for picks. And now they go in. Does he gets one? Sim tries to shut it down. To real and Human Jesus, though. They're bringing the work going forward. Clink is going to go down for them as well. But look at this, 2 on the stairs. Doesn't get any of them. Arcees eventually takes down Clayster. Human Jesus is ready for this as well. We're now hearing the War Machine in play. Human Jesus does have the Tempest available if he wants to pop it. It might not be the most advisable time, as Simmons had to bring out the War Chest to lock this one down, and that may have been just enough. That War Machine has probably made the difference here.
Yeah, they just don't have the time to get there either. 3v5 is achievable. None of Sims hitting shots like that. E United just about keep a hold of that round, but they had to invest to do so. Really good stuff from them. And I think Glory actually tried to go in with the grab slam there, and we didn't see it pop off. I think he popped it for a second and didn't quite get the tick onto it. Gunsy, though, on the back of him, this is where they try to get things going in the round. Very, very close yet. Their control game very much up there. Can they get things going here around number 4, though? Can they force around number 5? Can they take it? There's potential. There's absolutely potential here, and I think a lot of people will look at this game for RBL and be a lot more impressed than they maybe thought they would have been. In all honesty, they've been relatively decent in these past 2 maps. Yes, map number 1 was pretty much a blowout, but Search and Destroy, they take that one. They're making a game of this control. Gunsy still with a Hellstorm as well. Still achievable for RBL.
Well, let's see whether or not they held the defense last time, Tom. Beezy gets that first kill here. I wonder if United go for a very fast B push this time around and just get ready to go to work on A. Now, Beezy's got some players coming in. RBL going to try and make a push here as well. Beezy's ready for him. Beezy's going to go out for it. He's being aggressive. He's going to have a few players in front of him. He's going to see them as well, and down they all go. Tempest and the Beezy completely shut this one down. This should be an early lock for B.
Yep, looking good here for United. They lock down the kills where they need to, and off the back of a fantastic Tempest coming out of Arcides, which will pretty much just lock it down B for them, and they get aggressive from that as well. They've left one guy over there. RBL have been pinned in now. Clink is going to find a Beezy just about before he escaped around the corner. Simple now, though. Oh, hunting. But the thing is, with only sending one guy over towards B to try and lock that one down, makes things easier for RBL to manage to make the push back through there. But here we go. Arcides all alone. RK7 in hand. Is going to find one. Will just about nearly get a tick over towards A. Kills coming in here for United, but it's a bit of a strange map. If you look at the minimap, everyone's all over the shop right now. Nobody with any sort of control and any sort of sight. Eventually, RBL are going to be able to defend A, but That's a bit of a weird one. Nobody really seemingly knowing where they're going. That they are going to lose B eventually. United with a 2-kill lead on A as well, and truly in RBL's control.
Well, this is exactly what we talked about. This is what happened last time around, Tucker, right? United just couldn't get the kills down enough to make it work, and Gunsy ends up killing 2 of his own teammates. That's a yikes. That could be bad news for it, because here coming United, they're cleaning up. They've got 2 bodies now into A. They're throwing out the trophy system, which has already helped them out. That's the second one gone down from them as well. However, out comes the Tempest. Simp stays alive for it as well. Eventually ends up going down. The Tempest should be able to clear this out for RBL at this point. And if you're United, not only do you spawn out, but you need to wait this out.
100%. Looking at this one now, if you are RBL, you still have 2 minutes to defend here. United can take as long as they want on this push. See though, can you still get some things going here with the Tempest? Abizi is going to get taken down by Human Jesus. 375 off Streaks, make that 250 now. Can he find a kill on the Callister here as well? This would be a big kill for Callister to make, and does so. Clink just about trades that one away, but things are still doable here for RBL. 8v8 now, the kills coming in their favour, and United now with their backs against the wall. One good push would do it though, Bryce.
It would. This is where it gets tense. Neither team can afford to really make a mistake. United, not only are you going to lose the kills, but you will spawn miles out, and that could end up losing you the entire game. Very little, no kills remaining. This is all just team deathmatch now. Who ends up winning these trades? United get first blood. It's 5 versus 4. Still tons of time left to go onto this one. As United trying to look for it, a 2-real. He's going to just get out of there. Get challenged as another player. They're hunting for him. They know he's around here somewhere, and he goes down. It's now on 5 versus 2. Klink's trying to get it as well. Artis goes down, and that should be everything. Human Jesus not able to outgun 5 of E United. And that will be E United taking map number 3, but it wasn't clean.
Absolutely not. It was one of those where realistically, that could have went either way. RBL in the end, I think it was that push from 2-real. I understand it. It's the bold players that do help you take wins like that. I like what he's trying to do. He's probably thinking everyone's lingering on outside the church or waiting for people to come through mid-map because we've just killed a couple of them off spawn. I like the idea behind it. In the end, he just gets caught by Simp, and then the rest of the team flood in and around them. They know if they take him out, they're in a good position to win the round. They find him, they push through, use the numbers. Good stuff from in the end from United. You know, it's good in the end control play. But I would just like to see it be a little bit cleaner. I don't think they'd be too happy with their performance in this series so far. But going into map number 4, 2-1 lead, you absolutely expect them to close it.
Yeah, 100%. We're going back onto the hard point, and we know United in that first map really took control and didn't really give RBL much of a chance. The benefit being here for RBL, of course, is they have shown that they can mix it up with the United, and it's not out of the realms of possibility. I'm actually going to say here, you know, full props to RBL. They've done way more than we expected them to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you said they'd take a search and destroy beforehand, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. But that control was pretty good from them, honestly. The difference is, though, is that they didn't win it. If they go on to win this control, then they're going to at least force a map number 5, another S&D, which they look pretty good in. You would have maybe asked question marks at that point. But now, United, they get over that hump, if you like. They get over the control, and we will be seeing the map number 4 with a 2-1 lead over that RBL team very, very shortly. So they're now in the driving seat. Absolutely. This is where United are quite happy to be. However, I don't think they'll be totally happy with their performance.
No, I don't think so either, but it could be a case of United coming out slow, right? It could be a case of them coming out a little bit cold, or just not knowing what to expect. I think the S&D shocked them more because they weren't expecting a lot of that sniper play to come out around the B side and maybe shut them down as much as it did. And maybe against teams they were practicing, they would know that was coming. Yeah,
you expect Sim to be pretty much dominant over majority of players, but I think in the end it was Glory or Gunsy, both those two guys, bringing out the snipers at different times, doing a lot of work with them as well, which really did put them off and help them. It was really one of the catalysts of why they won that search and destroy. However, you know, the control for me, I think it was just a couple of moments here and there. If RBL make different decisions, then they can probably win that map. It was a couple here and there. You know, we could speak about that final one from 2-real a little bit more, but realistically, it's small margins. But that is what the difference is at this top level. Small margins, and in the end, United win that one eventually comfortably. But realistically, I think RBL have got to be happy with this one. We said at the beginning of this series, this is not the game that they need to win. We are very much expecting E United to walk away as winners of this group. However, the rest of the group going on, you look at teams like Elevate, you look at teams like Celtic. These are games that RBL will be looking at and think, right, we need to win that one. We need to lock in second place. These are the games they're looking at.
Well, they've made a much better case for
100%.
potentially winning those games.
100%.
That's the thing coming out of here now, if when those other teams find out, because they're actually playing right now on a different stream, those teams find, oh, well, by the way, this team actually, did very well against the United, who are considered as the titans of this group, and basically our number one lock. You go, oh, wait a minute, maybe we underestimate them a little bit, and Celtic and Elevate could be a little bit worried now going forward.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to look at it if they have time in between games to go back and watch this series. You'll be keeping an eye on what they're doing specifically in Search and Destroy. As the tournament goes on, there's going to be more information available for all these teams to look at and say, oh, well, this is what RBL did in this map. This is how this map went for United. Let's get rid of this one, etc., etc. So the more that teams play, the more information available, the better you can prepare yourself for each and every series. But we are going to go into map number 4 very, very shortly. We're going in now. We're going back to Seaside. On the Hard Point once again. That map number 1, if you did miss it, was pretty much a whitewash for United. I think it was about 250 to 60 that they did take that one. So, can they do it again here to close this one out?
Well, let's find out. The United, of course, are the heavy favourites going into the not only this series, but this Hard Point, especially after their last performance.
Yeah, it's been really, really good from them. Let's see, though. We didn't expect it to be as close in the control. Could this Hard Point on Seaside bring something else up? You absolutely think of E United's strengths, and you think of the SMG duo ship, the tiny terrors of Abizi and Simp, who really are like they are tiny. They're really short. We don't just call them that because they're SMG players and they run about the map, etc. They are genuinely very small humans. Sorry.
I don't know if you needed to explain that.
I feel like, some people might just... okay, no, Tiny Terror is pretty nondescript, isn't it? Let's be honest. Okay, either way, as you can see, the two teams are just swapped over at the top of the screen now. We will get that one changed very, very shortly. But either way, it is going to be E United inside of it. 23 points rising. Simp doing work, and this is really his playground. Everything is close quarters here. You maybe get one AR down the right-hand side to watch out there, but realistically, it's all SMG work in here. It's also gameplay. He comes off on top. 4-1 out of him. RBL, 38 points down already to E United as they do transition over towards Courtyard. The rotations on this map, we know how important they can be, Bryson. Right now, it is going to be E United first guys there momentarily, although RBL will be able to find the kills.
Yeah, heavy push through barrels there. Really allowed RBL to get through, and Sim got caught out. He wasn't able to kind of back off and slow them down. But here comes the United. They have stacked around. They're going to try and break this. The problem being is it's never an easy break from this position. Going from inside church. Unfortunately, I mean, if you end up getting all of the kills, then it's much easier, which E United have just done. When they stacked it, they managed to get the bodies into it, and now come back. RBL, they're trying to get through. He's just not able to get past that cluster grenade.
So difficult when they do have this one locked down. Abizi putting enough shots in to make Clint think twice about re-challenging that one. He's going to find Questa, can't quite find the second, will get pushed out. RBL are going to be retreating away over towards P3 with only 10 points to their name. They will win this rotation. But this was the problem. We said it time and time again. Their rotations were good on Gridlock, but they just couldn't hold them down. I think it's easier to do on this map, don't get me wrong. It's much easier to hold these hills on Seaside. Can they get things going here on this map number 4?
Well, this is the hill, right? This is Money Hill, this is Bank. They have the setup. There are no specialists in play this early in the game. However, Abizi's going to go high and trying to get in there as well. He gets a kill at the same time, and that's allowing it. Abizi gets 2, just somehow pirouettes through the sky and gets it. Glory ends up taking down 3, but Abizi's still alive. A little bit of a shot there, as he just says, I made that look easy. 3 kills, flying from the sky. Abizi is doing it all. This guy is playing out of his freaking mind.
Abizi has been so impressive throughout this series. Time and time again, just seems to be going off. Quite happy to go up against guys like Human Jesus and Cody's probably played. Oh, okay. All right, we were singing his praises there. Nelly doesn't finish the kill. Eventually will. Abizi now. Lightning strike to his name, but he has been enigmatic for his team here. Hellstorm, and he's just going to start killing his teammates as well. There's nobody else left to kill for Abizi. 7 in a row from him. A solid lead for United as we head over towards P4. Hardpoint, they very much have RBL's number here.
So eventually Abizi ends up going down, and it is going to be RBL who are currently inside barrels. And they're getting the kills this time around. Looking for it as well, though. Aren't able to get enough trades going forward at United to maybe break back in.
Even Jesus now set up. Can he get anything going with this match? We need the Soul players on RBL to start stepping up. We need them to start finding kills because they are finding kills on the other side of things for United. We know how important the Soaks can be on CSAM. We know how fast of a map it is. Human Jesus puts a couple of bullets in, but not quite enough. Can he get anything else done? Yeah, and the kills are going to come through for a BC. The trades, they're working out in RBL's favour. They're eventually getting some sort of hold on this game. If they haven't had so far in rotation number 1, United have been well in control, but RBL locked down a decent amount of time here, and Gunty is going to get the trade to get the scrap. So there you go. They're back into this game all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, well able to get the money here onto Statue, but apparently Barrels look much better for them. Don't have the rotation here as we go into our second set of rotations on this hard point, but it's not as hard to break.
Kills coming in here for United as that is now 4 down. 4 down, and Sim pops the War Machine and fires it straight out there. I'm not quite sure I agree with that from him, but either way.
I'll tell you exactly why he's done that. He's done it as soon as he's got it, because he knows he can get it again. Look how early in the game he's managed to get his War Machine. He fully believes he can get it again.
I agree with popping it. I didn't agree with sending 4 bullets after you just killed 4 people. I was thinking it was maybe a little bit too early, but either way. Sim now trying to work on something else. 5 streak for him as well, so maybe looking towards those streaks. There you go, there's 1. Lightning Strike available for him. BZ already has 2. We know how influential they can be on this map. If you're RBL, you can rotate early as much as you want. United are going to have Fire and Fury to come from the sky as a BZ now. Bringing in his specialist, finds 2 with the grab slam, and United now making this look relatively simple. If you're RBL, you've done better than you did map number 1 already, but United are pretty much cruising now. They have the tools to finish this one pretty quickly here, Bryce.
Well, here's the big problem now for RBL is United can late rotate again. Because they have so many streaks, they don't really have to worry about that next money hill. They can continue to push this one for as long as they like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can just think about using your streaks at any moment. It's one of these maps where streaks are so influential, and you have 4 of them, and you also have a 120-point lead. They have the rotation. They have Courtyard locked down. This is their game to lose here, Bryce. 20 seconds to go is what RBL are going to get as we do head over towards Fountain. We need to see some perfect specialist uses here. They do have quite a few available, but can they make them work?
A little bit interesting to know the place that Sim just spawned out. You've got to be worried why they actually spawned out here, because now RBL will have 4 seconds against 2. Unfortunately, Sim is now calling in all of the reinforcements from the sky that they can, knowing that these spawns haven't gone their way.
They do eventually get somebody else spawning towards the back here with them. It is going to be a BC to help them try and break on through. RBL just had to turtle up inside the checkers. They push out, and it's just going to come down to these gunfights in the end, though. It's looking like United are winning them. They win every single one of them. Tempest in hand for Arcities. They're wanting to close this one out here. Bryce can't quite do it here over towards Fountain. RBL have made it a little bit more difficult, but will be more difficult is the fact that Arcities now has streaks as well. Only 2 members of United not picking up full streaks in this game. Cruising right now. RBL have made it difficult at points, but it hasn't been enough. It hasn't been that extra step they've needed at each and every moment. United have been there. It's a solid lead for them as we head towards Barrels.
Yeah, one thing about this, though, obviously, the streak's not really going to be that important going into Barrels. Well, United have a ton of them, and maybe they're going to call it in and around the courtyard if they can force them out enough. It's just not going to do much.
Yeah, it's so difficult to really do anything here with your streaks. But I'll tell you what's not difficult to do something with yet is actually the score streak. Hell, come on, it's early. The specialist coming in here for Pristini. This one will close it out. United win their first game here. The Call of Duty World League Championships 2019 here in LA, and that was, in the end, relatively comfortable. Yeah. I think they would have liked to see more out of themselves in the Search and Destroy and the Control, but their hardpoint looked pretty flawless, in all honesty. They were slaying away where they needed to. The rotations didn't seem to matter that RBL were winning them, really, and it was pretty dominant for United.
Yeah, can we just talk about that BZ play again?
Yeah,
like, I know it's standard to go high and bait for your teammates, but then to just go in and go, oh, I'll just kill everybody anyway.
Yeah, he went high to bait, but then found 3 kills.
Yeah.
He did everything himself there. Fantastic work from BZ, but we thought that map would be quite difficult for RBL. A bit of a better showing than what we've seen in map number 1, but away from United, because we expected that of them. If you're RBL in that scenario, you take the positives, you push them in the control, you won in S&D, you look at the other teams in this group and Elevate and Celtic, who are actually still playing right now, and you say to yourselves, right, what can we bring to the table here in this game? Can we find something in these other two matches to finally put ourselves in a good spot here going into Friday, Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, United have started their journey all the way to what they hope will be Championship Sunday and potentially the rings. A little bit of a hiccup though. RBL showing they are not a pushover.
Yeah, they've definitely got something in the barrel. We can maybe see them pushing the boys and pushing Elevate especially. United was always, as I said, the game that we didn't really expect them to win, but I don't know. I think it's still going to be a tall order. I still just think that Elevate and the boys, or Celtic FC, are absolutely better teams than them on paper. However, you get a little bit of hope for them.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. All right, well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on Charlie. Don't go anywhere.